Hello everybody. Today I am going to teach you Vedic maths, and in Vedic maths I am going to teach you base method of subtraction. This is my part 2 on base method of subtraction, and also what you have to do if you are watching my this part, before this you have to see my first part. I have already made part 1 also. So you have to see my part 1. In part 1, I have explained all the basic concepts, and those basic concepts you should know before doing this. Now let's see how you can do this. Now you look at the heading. The heading is very important in this. What is the heading? This heading is very important. Now we are dealing with the cases when the bottom number. What is the bottom number? You see, these are the bottom numbers. Okay? When the bottom number is both. It is bigger also and it is smaller also. And in all these questions, you can see these bottom numbers. These are the bottom numbers, and these bottom numbers are bigger also and smaller also. So how you have to deal with these cases? Now let's see how you have to deal with these cases. First, you have to make a mark on the numbers where you need borrowing. You see in this question 6 minus 2. You can do the subtraction directly. You don't need any borrowing. Look at the next pair, 3 and 6. In this pair, you need the borrowing. So what, and in the next pair, 4 and 9, you cannot subtract directly. You need the borrowing. So what will I do with these cases? I will make a square like this on these cases. Now move to the next pair, 8 and 1. You can do the subtraction here directly. You don't need any borrowing. Move to the next pair, 7 minus 3. You can do the subtraction here. You don't need any borrowing. Move to the next pair. You need borrowing in this case. So you have to make a square like this. Okay, 9 minus 5 you can do directly. Now you see 3 and 7. You need the borrowing here. So you have to make a mark like this. Now 8 minus 1 you can do directly. Move to the next question. 8 minus 1 you can do directly. Now where you need the borrowing? You see, I'm going to make the mark where I need the borrowing. Here I need borrowing. Next, 9 minus 2 you can do directly. 3 minus 1 you can do directly. Next pair, you see you have to do the borrowing here. 9 minus 3 you can do directly, and here also you need the borrowing. So these two questions I'm going to deal with you. Now I'm going to take the text box now. Now you know in Vedic maths you have to start the work from left. So first 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. But before writing 4 here, you have to check with the next number. Do you need borrowing in the next pair? Yes, you need the borrowing in the next pair. So what will you do with this 4? You have got the answer 4 now. In your mind now, you will think what comes before 4. 3 comes before 4. You will write here the number 3. Move to the next pair. Here you need the borrowing. In this case, you see 6 is written here. So you have to find out the complement of 6. And you know, in my previous video, I have told you all the complements. Okay? So 4 is the complement of 6. Now, what will you do with 4? 4 you will add with this 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, so will you write here 7 now? No, you will not write 7 here. In your mind, you will think what comes before 7? 6 comes before 7. So you will write here 6. Why I have written here 6? Because in the next pair, I need the borrowing. So I have written here 6. Okay, move to the next pair. 4 and 9 are the next pairs. And what is the complement of 9? What is the complement of 9? See, 1 is the complement of 9. what will you do with 1? 1 you will add with 4. Okay, 1 plus 4 is 5. So will you write here 5? This is very important. Now, yes, you will write here 5. Why? What is the reason you will write here 5? Because now you check next number. Do you need any borrowing in the next number? You don't need any borrowing. So if you don't need any borrowing in the next pair, here you will write the number which you have got. Okay, move to the next. 8 minus 1 is 7. So will you write here 7? Yes, you will write here 7. Why you will write here 7 now? What is the reason? The reason is you check the next number. Next, in the next pair, you can do the subtraction directly. So I have written here 7 and not 6. Okay. Now move to the next pair. 7 minus 3 is 4. Will you write 4 here? No. Why? What is the reason you will not write 4 here? Because you look at the next case. In the next case here, you need the borrowing. Okay. So you need borrowing here. So here, what will you do in your mind? Think about the number which comes before 4. 3 comes before 4. Okay. Move to the next. Okay. Move to the next. See, you need the borrowing here. So you see 6. What is the complement of 6? 4 is the complement of 6. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay. Will you write 6 here? Before writing 6 here, check with the next pair. Do you need borrowing here? No. You don't need the borrowing here. So now you will write down here 6 as it is. And in your mind, you will not do what comes before 6. Okay. Now move to the next pair. 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay. So will you write 4 here? No. Why you will not write 4 here? Because you see in the next case you have to do the borrowing. So before writing 4 here, think in your mind what comes before 4. 3 comes before 4. So you will write down here 3. Move to the next pair. Now you need the borrowing here. So what is the complement of 7? 3 is the complement of 7. 3 plus this 3 is 6. Will you write 6 here? Yes. You will write 6 here. Why? Because you check with the next pair. You don't need any borrowing here. So you will write here 6. Now, as in my previous video, I have told you in the last number you will do 8 minus 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. So you will write down the last number as it is. So now this is your final answer. This is how you have to do this. Okay. Next question is, now you see here 8 minus 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. So will you write 7 here? No. Why you will not write 7 here? Because next number you have to do the borrowing. So what comes before 7? 6 comes before 7. Move to the next pair. You need borrowing in the next pair. So what is the complement of 6? 4 is the complement of 6. What will you do with 4? You will add 4 with this 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. Will you write 6 here? No. Before writing 6 here, check with the next pair. Do you need borrowing? Yes. You need the borrowing in the next case. So now what will you do? In borrowing here. So what is the complement of 9? 1 is the complement of 9. So 1 plus 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. Will you write 8 here? No, you will not write 8 here. Before writing 8 here, check with the next pair. Do you need borrowing? Yes, you need borrowing in the next case. So in your mind, you will think what number comes before 8. 7 comes before 8. Okay, now move to the next pair. Move to the next pair. Now you see you need the borrowing here. So look at 7. What is the complement of 7? 3 is the complement of 7. What will you do with 3? 3 plus this 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So will you write 4 here? Before writing 4 here, check the next pair. Do you need any borrowing in the next pair? You don't need any borrowing. So now you will write down 4 here as it is. Okay. Move to the next pair. 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. What will you do with 7? Before writing 7 here, move to the next pair. You need not to do any borrowing. You are not required to take any borrowing here. Okay. You will not do any borrowing here. So you got 9 minus 2 is 7. So 7 you will write down as it is. Okay. In your mind now you will not think what comes before 7. Why? Why you will not think what comes before 7? Because in the next case you don't need any borrowing. Okay. Move to the next. 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. But will you write here 2? No. You will not write here 2. Why you will not write here 2? Because before writing 2 here, check with the next case. You need borrowing in the next case now. So here what will you do in your mind? Think in your mind what comes before 2. 1 comes before 2. So you will write here 1. Move to the next pair, 5 and 9. Now you need borrowing in this case. So find out what is the complement of 9. 1 is the complement of 9. 1 plus 5 is 6. Will you write here 6? No. You will not write 6 here. Why? Because in the next pair you have to do the borrowing. So in your mind now you will think what comes before 6? 5 comes before 6. Move to the next pair. What you have to do is look at the pair 6 and 8. You need the borrowing here. So what is the complement of 8? 2 is the complement of 8. What will you do with 2? 2 you will add with this 6. 2 plus 6 is 8. Will you write 8 here? No. Why not? Because you look at the next pair. In the next pair you have to do the borrowing. So you in your mind you have to think what comes before 8. 7 comes before 8. So you will write here 7. Okay. Now move to the next pair. You see you need the borrowing in this case. So look at 7. What is the complement of 7? 3 is the complement of 7. What will you do with this 3? 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So will you write 5 here? No. Why you will not write 5 here? because before writing 5 here, you have to check with the next pair. Do you need the borrowing in the next pair? No, you don't need the borrowing in the next pair. Okay. So here you got 5. So you will write down here 5 only. Move to the next pair. 9 minus 3 is 6. Will you write here 6? Yes or no? Tell me, you think about yourself. 9 minus 3 is 6. So will you write here 6? Think. Now you have to think. Okay. You will not write here 6. Why? Because in the next pair, you have to check. You need the borrowing. Okay. So you have to see what comes before 6. 5 comes before 6. Okay. And now move to the last. This is the last number. So you see this here also you need the borrowing. What is the complement of 5? 5 is the complement of 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6. And you know what you have to do with the last number. Last number you will write down as it is. You will not do any changes with the last number. Okay, so like this. Now I'm going to do this part also. Let's see this part also. Now I'm going to do this question. Okay, you can do this third question, you can do on your own. Last question I'm going to do here with you. First, you have to make the mark where you need the borrowing. See, you need the borrowing here. 5 minus 1 you can do here directly. Then you check with the case where you need the borrowing. You need the borrowing here. 7 minus 2, 3 minus 2 you can do directly. Then in the next case here you need the borrowing. 8 minus 2 you can do directly. 6 minus 1 you can do directly. And now in these two cases also you need the borrowing. So now let's see how you have to do this question. Now see 7, this is 7 minus 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Okay, 7 minus 6 is 1. This is also very important. Now you see what will happen with this 1. Okay. Now before writing 1 here, you have to check with the next pair. Do you need borrowing in the next pair? Yes, you need borrowing in the next pair. What will you do in your mind now? In your mind, you think what comes before 1? 0 comes before 1 now. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay. You will write here 0. See, this 0 is very important. If you will not write, right now you are learning. So you write this 0 also. This is very important. Okay. Move to the next pair. 3 and 6. You need borrowing here. So find out what is the complement of 6. 4 is the complement of 6. What will you do with 4? 4 you will add with 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. Will you write 7 here? No. Why not? Because in the next pair you need the borrowing. So think what comes before 7. 6 comes before 7. You will write here 6. In the next pair move. This is the case of borrowing. So find out the complement of 7. 3 is the complement of 7. 3 plus 1 is 4. So you tell me now, will you write here 4? Yes. You will write here 4. Why? What is the reason you will write here 4? You have to check the next pair. See, next pair, in the next pair, you can do the subtraction directly. You can do the subtraction directly. So now, with this 4, now you will not do in your mind what comes before 4. You will not think in your mind like this. Okay. Move to the next pair. 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4 directly. Now, before writing 4, move to the next pair and check. Do you need borrowing? Yes, you need borrowing. So, in this case, you need the borrowing. So, what will you do with this 4? You will think what comes before 4. 3 comes before 4, so you will write here 3. Okay. Move to the next pair. 2 and 8. Okay. Here you need the borrowing. Okay. So find out the complement of 8. 2 is the complement of 8. 2 plus this 2 is 4. Will you write 4 here? Yes. Why? Why you will write 4 here? Because you check the next pair. You can do the subtraction directly. Okay. You don't need any borrowing here. Okay. So now you will not think in your mind what comes before 4. Okay. So directly you will write here 4. Move to the next pair. 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay, 5. Now, will you write 5 here? Check the next pair. Do you need any borrowing in the next pair? You don't need any borrowing in the next pair. So, here you will write down 7 minus 2, 5. Okay. Now, also, you will not think in your mind what comes before 5. Okay. Now, you see here you have done. Now, move to the next pair. 3 minus 2 is 1. So, you have to write 1 here. But before writing 1 here, move to the next pair. Do you need borrowing? Yes, you need borrowing. So, what will you do in your mind? In your mind, you will think what comes before 1? 0. Okay, 0 comes before 1. So you will write here 0. Okay. Move to the next pair. 1 and 9. Okay. Find out the complement of 9. 1 is the complement of 9. 1 plus 1 is 2. Will you write 2 here? Yes. Why? What is the reason you will write here 2? Because you have to check with this next pair. See here you can do the subtraction directly. You don't need any borrowing. So you will write here 2 only. Okay, move to the next pair. 8 minus 2 is 6. You got 6. Will you write 6 here? Yes. Why you will write here 6? Because move to the next pair. You can do the subtraction directly. You don't need any borrowing. So here you will write 6. Okay. Move to the next pair. 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay. 5. But will you write 5 here? No. You will not write 5 here. Why? Because you will look at the next pair. You need borrowing in the next pair. So now you will think what comes before 5. 4 comes before 5. Okay. Move to the next pair. Now you need the borrowing here. So find out the complement of 7. 3 is the complement of 7. 3 plus 5 is 8. Will you write 8 here? No, you will not write 8 here. Why? Because before writing 8 here, check here. Check with the next pair. Do you need any borrowing? Yes, you need the borrowing. So now in your mind, you will think what comes before 8. Okay, 7 comes before 8. So you will write here 7. Now move to the next part. You need borrowing here. So find out the complement of 6. 4 is the complement of 6. 4 plus this 4 is 8. And last number you have to write as it is. You will not do any changes with the last number. Now you see this is my second part. Okay. And I have made first part also. Now in my another video, I will deal with you some special cases. And now this video is over. So I'm going to give you some practice questions also like this. Now you look at the screen. This is your homework also, and this is the practice question also. You have to practice for these questions. And these are also the practice questions which you can practice